अनंत संसार समुद्रतारा नौकायिताभ्यां गुरुभक्तिदाभ्यां वैराग्यसाम्राज्यद पूजनाभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्याम् कवित्ववाराशि निशाकराभ्यां दौर्भाग्यदावां बुधमालिकाभ्यां दूरीकृतानम्र विपत्तिताभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्याम् नताययोः श्रीपतितां समीयुः कदाचिदप्याशु दरिद्रवर्याः मूकाश्च वाचस्पतितां हिताभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्याम् नालीकनीकाश पदाहृताभ्यां नानाविमोहादि निवारिकाभ्यां नमज्जनाभीष्ट ततिप्रदाभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्याम् नृपालिमौली व्रजरत्नकान्ते सरिद्विराज जशकन्यकाभ्यां नृपत्वदाभ्यां नतलोकपङ्क्तेः नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्याम् पापान्धकारार्क परम्पराभ्यां तापत्रयाहीन्द्र खगेश्वराभ्यां जाड्याब्धिसंशोषणवाडवाभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्याम् शमादिषट्क प्रदवैभवाभ्यां समाधिदान व्रतदीक्षिताभ्यां रमाधवाङ्घ्रि स्थिरभक्तिदाभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्याम् स्वाचापराणाम् अखिलेष्टदाभ्यां स्वाहा सहायाक्ष दुरन्दराभ्यां स्वान्ताच्छभावप्रदपूजनाभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्याम् कामादिसर्प व्रजगारुडाभ्यां विवेकवैराग्य निधिप्रदाभ्यां बोधप्रदाभ्यां धृतमोक्षदाभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्यां बोधप्रदाभ्यां धृतमोक्षदाभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः श्रीगुरुपादुकाभ्यां नमो नमः श्री गुरु पादुकाभ्याम्।
ॐ अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सर्वश्रुतिशिरोरत्नविराजितपदाम्बुजः वेदान्ताम्बुजसूर्याय तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। चिन्मयं व्यापितं सर्वं त्रैलोक्यं सचराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। चैतन्यं शाश्वतं शान्तं व्योमातीतं निरञ्जनं बिन्दुनादकलातीतं तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। अनेकजन्मसम्प्राप्तकर्मेन्धनविदाहिने आत्मज्ञानाग्निदानेन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। मन्नाथश्रीजगन्नाथो मद्गुरुश्रीजगद्गुरु मदात्मा सर्वभूतात्मा तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणगृहीतं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। We bow down to the divine teacher in the form of Bhagavan Shri Ram. The application of knowledge opens the eyes of one blinded by the disease. Teacher, by whom is revealed the divine being, the intelligent absolute that permeates all the worlds with all their objects, moving and non-moving.
अनर्घ्याणि रत्नानि मुक्तानि सम्यक् समालिङ्गिता कामिनी यामिनीषु मनश्चेन्न लग्नं गुरोरङ्घ्रिपद्मे ततः किं ततः किं ततः किं ततः किम्.
मौनव्याख्या प्रकटितपरब्रह्मतत्त्वं युवानम् वर्षिष्ठान्ते वसदृशिगणैरावृतं ब्रह्मनिष्ठैः आचार्येन्द्रं करकलितचिन्मुद्रमानन्दमूर्तिम् स्वात्मारामं मुदितवदनं दक्षिणामूर्तिमीडे वटविटपि समीपे भूमिभागे निषण्णं सकलमुनिजनानां ज्ञानदातारमारात् त्रिभुवनगुरुमीशं दक्षिणामूर्तिदेवं जननमरणदुःखच्छेद दक्षं नमामि। चित्रं वटतरोर्मूले वृद्धाः शिष्या गुरुर्युवा गुरोस्तु मौनं व्याख्यानं शिष्यास्तु छिन्नसंशयाः निधये सर्वविद्यानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरीतुल्यं निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिवोद्भूतं यथा निद्रया यः साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये। बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जजतिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः माया कल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्र्यचित्रीकृतम् मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यपि महायोगी वयस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदम् श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये यस्यैव स्फुरणं सदात्मकमसत्कल्पार्थकं भासते साक्षात् तत्त्वमसीति वेदवचसा यो बोधयत्याश्रितान् यस्साक्षात्करणात् भवेन पुनरावृत्तिर्भवाम्भोनिधौ तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदम् श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नानाच्छिद्रघटोदरस्थित महादीपप्रभाभास्वरं ज्ञानं यस्य तु चक्षुरादिकरणद्वारा बहिस्पन्दते जानामीति तमेव भान्तमनुभाव्ये तत्समस्तं जगत् तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदम् श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये देहं प्राणमपीन्द्रियाण्यपि चलां बुद्धिं च शून्यं विदुः श्रीबालान्धजडोपमास्त्वहमिति भ्रान्ता भृशंवादिनः मायाशक्तिविलासकल्पित महाव्यामोहसंहारिणे तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदम् श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये राहुग्रस्तदिवाकरेन्द्रसदृशो मायासमाच्छादनात् सन्मात्रः करणोपसंहरणतो यो भूत्सुषुप्तः पुमान् प्रागस्वाप्समिति प्रबोधसमये यः प्रत्यभिज्ञायते तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदम् श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बाल्यादिष्वपि जाग्रदादिषु तथा सर्वास्वस्थास्वपि व्यावृत्तस्वनुवर्तमानम् अहमित्यन्तः स्फुरन्तं सदा स्वात्मानं प्रकटीकरोति भजतां यो मुद्रया भद्रया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदम् श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये विश्वं पश्यति कार्यकारणतया स्वस्वामि सम्बन्धतः शिष्याचार्यतया तथैव पितृपुत्राध्यात्मना भेदतः स्वप्ने जागृति वा य एष पुरुषो माया परिभ्रामितः तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये भूरम्भांस्यनलो नीलोऽम्बरमहर्नाथो हिमांशुः पुमान् इत्याभाति चराचरात्मकमिदं यस्यैव मूर्त्यष्टकम् नान्यत् किञ्चन विद्यते विमृशतां यस्मात् परस्माद् विभो तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये सर्वात्मत्वमिति स्फुटीकृतमिदं यस्मादमुष्मिन् स्तवे तेनास्वश्रवणात् तदर्थमननात् ध्यानात् च संकीर्तनात् सर्वात्मत्वमहाविभूतिसहितं स्यादीश्वरत्वं स्वतः सिद्धे तत्पुनरष्टदा परिणतं चैश्वर्यमव्याहतम् राम निरंजन न्यारा रे, राम निरंजन न्यारा रे, अंजन सकल पसारा रे भय। राम निरंजन न्यारा रे, अंजन सकल पसारा रे भय। राम निरंजन न्यारा रे, न्यारा रे। अंजन उत्पत्ति ओंकार, अंजन उत्पत्ति ओंकार, अंजन मांगे सब विस्तार, अंजन मांगे सब विस्तार, अंजन ब्रह्मा शंकर इंदर, अंजन ब्रह्मा शंकर इंदर, अंजन गोपी संगी गोविंद रे भय। राम निरंजन न्यारा रे, न्यारा रे, न्यारा रे। अंजन वाणी अंजन वेद, अंजन वाणी अंजन वेद, अंजन किया नाना भेद, अंजन किया नाना भेद, अंजन विद्या पाठ पुराण, अंजन विद्या पाठ पुराण, अंजन वो कत कत ही ज्ञान रे भय। राम निरंजन न्यारा रे, अंजन सकल पसारा रे भय। राम निरंजन न्यारा रे, न्यारा रे, न्यारा रे। अंजन पाती अंजन देव, अंजन पाती अंजन देव, अंजन की करे अंजन सेव, अंजन की करे अंजन सेव, अंजन नाचे अंजन गावे, अंजन नाचे अंजन गावे, अंजन भेष अनंत दिखावे रे भय। राम নাই গা। ওরে চন্দ্র সূর্য ধ্বংস হলেও, চন্দ্র সূর্য ধ্বংস হলেও হয় না সে তাই অন্ধকার, ওরে হয় না সে তাই অন্ধকার। উতলেছে প্রেম পারাবার, উতলেছে প্রেম পারাবার, উতলেছে প্রেম পারাবার, উতলেছে প্রেম পারাবার। সেথায় সবই উল্টা ঢং, সেথায় সবই উল্টা ঢং, সেথায় সবই উল্টা ঢং, সেথায় সবই উল্টা ঢং। সেথায় কালো সেথায় সাদা, বুঝবি কি বাইরা ও তোর কার্যকরণ সব কারণ, ও তোর কার্যকরণ সব কারণ। নাই তথায় তার অধিকার, ও তোর নাই তথায় তার অধিকার। উতলেছে প্রেম পারাবার, উতলেছে প্রেম পারাবার, উতলেছে প্রেম পারাবার, উতলেছে প্রেম পারাবার। গুরুদাস কেঁদে বলে ভাই আর বিচারে কাজ নাই, গুরুদাস কেঁদে বলে ভাই আর বিচারে কাজ নাই। বোঝা বুঝি অনেক হলো, সোজাই চলো ভাই রামকৃষ্ণ আমার প্রেমের পাতা, রামকৃষ্ণ আমার প্রেমের পাতা। ডুবলে হবে ভব পার, সেটাই ডুবলে হবে ভব পার। উতলেছে প্রেম পারাবার, উতলেছে প্রেম পারাবার, উতলেছে প্রেম পারাবার, উতলেছে প্রেম পারাবার। তোরা আয় না ছুটে ভবের মুটে, তোরা আয় না ছুটে ভবের মুটে। ভাসিয়ে দে না মাথার ভার, তোরা ভাসিয়ে দে না মাথার ভার। উতলেছে প্রেম পারাবার, 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 উতলেছে প্রেম পারাবার। गुरु बिना गुलाम नागुवतन का दुराय दंड मुकुति, गुरु बिना गुलाम नागुवतन का दुराय दंड मुकुति। पारि पारि शास्त्र वरोदिदरेनु व्यर्थवायितु भक्ति, पारि पारि शास्त्र वरोदिदरेनु व्यर्थवायितु भक्ति। गुरु बिना गुलाम नागवतन का दुराय दंड मुकुति, गुरु बिना गुलाम नागवतन का दुराय दंड मुकुति। आरु शास्त्रवानोदिदरेनु नुरारु पुराणो मुगिसिदरेनु, आरु शास्त्रवानोदिदरेनु नुरारु पुराणो मुगिसिदरेनु। साधु सज्जनर संगम मानद धीरनेंदु दातिरुगिदरेनु, साधु सज्जनर संगम मानद धीरनेंदु दातिरुगिदरेनु। गुरु बिना गुलाम नागुवतन का दुराय दंड मुकुति, ಮುಕುತಿ. ಕೊರಳುಲು ಮಾಲೆ ಧರಿಸಿದರೇನು, ಬೆರಳುಲು ಜಪಮಣಿ ಎನಿಸಿದರೇನು. ಕೊರಳುಲು ಮಾಲೆ ಧರಿಸಿದರೇನು, ಬೆರಳುಲು ಜಪಮಣಿ ಎನಿಸಿದರೇನು. ಮರಳಿ ಮರಳಿ ತಾ ಹೊರಳಿ ಬೂದಿಯಲು ಮರುಳಂತಾಗಿ ತಿರುಗಿದರೇನು. ಮರಳಿ ಮರಳಿ ತಾ ಹೊರಳಿ ಬೂದಿಯಲು ಮರುಳಂತಾಗಿ ತಿರುಗಿದರೇನು. ಗುರುವಿನ ಗುಲಾಮನಾಗುವ ತನಕ ದೊರೆಯುವುದನ್ನ ಮುಕುತಿ. ಗುರುವಿನ ಗುಲಾಮನಾಗುವ ತನಕ ದೊರೆಯುವುದನ್ನ ಮುಕುತಿ. ನಾರಿಯ ಭೋಗ ಆಲಿಸಿದರೇನು, ಶರೀರ ಸುಖವನ್ನು ಬಿಡಿಸಿದರೇನು. ನಾರಿಯ ಭೋಗ ಆಲಿಸಿದರೇನು, ಶರೀರ ಸುಖವನ್ನು ಬಿಡಿಸಿದರೇನು. ಮಾರ ಜನಕ ಶ್ರೀ ಪುರನಡ ವಿಠಲನ ಸೇರಿಕೊಂಡು ತಾ ಪಡೆಯುವ ತನಕ. ಮಾರ ಜನಕ ಶ್ರೀ ಪುರನಡ ವಿಠಲನ ಸೇರಿಕೊಂಡು ತಾ ಪಡೆಯುವ ತನಕ. ಗುರುವಿನ ಗುಲಾಮನಾಗುವ ತನಕ ದೊರೆಯುವುದನ್ನ ಮುಕುತಿ. ಗುರುವಿನ ಗುಲಾಮನಾಗುವ ತನಕ ದೊರೆಯುವುದನ್ನ ಮುಕುತಿ. ಪರಿಪರಿ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರವನ್ನೋದಿದರೇನು, ವ್ಯರ್ಥವಾಯಿತು ಭಕುತಿ. ಪರಿಪರಿ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರವನ್ನೋದಿದರೇನು, ವ್ಯರ್ಥವಾಯಿತು ಭಕುತಿ. ಗುರುವಿನ ಗುಲಾಮನಾಗುವ ತನಕ ದೊರೆಯುವುದನ್ನ ಮುಕುತಿ. ಗುರುವಿನ ಗುಲಾಮನಾಗುವ ತನಕ ದೊರೆಯುವುದನ್ನ ಮುಕುತಿ. ಗುರುವಿನ ಗುಲಾಮನಾಗುವ ತನಕ ದೊರೆಯುವುದನ್ನ ಮುಕುತಿ.
अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. Salutation to the Guru who has made it possible to realize Him, by whom this entire universe of name and fame and movable and immovable object is permitted. So today we have a good auspicious time to think of our most venerable and the well-known great souls of the world whom we adore as our teachers. Before I tell something about my view about this Guru and the teaching, I'd like to mention to you something about the doctrine of Guru nowadays, what we find. Some or other, the Gurus, their numbers have become more. It seems to me that everyone wants to become a Guru. The reason is there, because when we actually find a genuine character, a genuine person, that a great soul, a great teacher who could impart knowledge to the others and remove all the pain, sufferings, miseries from other life. What happens? People would accept the teacher as the most important person and leader. So whatever he will say, they will carry it out, they will obey it, they will follow it in their life. They have a firm faith and strong determination that whatever this teacher will tell me to do, to follow in my life, it will be good to us. It may take little time, but it will be effective. So, it is very difficult to find a real teacher, a Guru, who knows everything about life. We Vedantin use the word as the study of life. Nowadays, science, then the philosophers, metaphysicians, everyone wants to speak about the life. But we find that that type of study does not bring any good to us. So it is not perfect. It is full of imperfection. It is based upon reasoning power, that's much. Sometimes the ideas and thought may be very convincing or palatable to us, that much. But it does not change our life. We call it transformation of our inner life. So who is Guru? Who can bring, who can do the real transformation of our inner life? We will feel it. And it will remain permanent. It will not go away. So there are lots of, truths about the teacher, about the role of teacher must be told. And you know that in the Bhagavad Gita, the divine teacher, Krishna says, on 4th chapter, 34th verse, Tad Vitti Pradipatena. Find out the Guru. He talked so many things, so many profound truths, words of wisdom to Arjuna. But then that will not do. You have to work it out, your own life in a different way. So you have to find out it. Tad viddhi pranipatena pariprasthana sevaya upadekshanti. So you find out and approach him with humility, with reverence and everything. Nowadays what we find? Among generally what we call the modern people, they're good, they're moral. But then to follow the teachings of a teacher and bring those teachings effective in their life is a different story. Some or other people are not able to do it, but we are true. We are true. So, tad diddhi pranipadana sevaya. Find out and approach him with great respect. And sevaya, give service to him. Nowadays we find, I am sorry to tell of you, the preaching of religion, the teaching of religion, mostly is done through some media. It is good for information, but it does not help to get transformed our inner life. No, it does not. I am the same person, same feeling, same problems of my mental life. There is no change in all these things. So, the real Guru means who has the real knowledge of our spiritual world. He's a person, knowledgeable person. That is why in modern time we find Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna plays a very important role in modern time. He's a modern person. And why we have to study the teachings and the life stories of a great soul, an illumined soul? Why? In normal life, when we face the realities of life, we find it is no use of studying a teacher's life, like Sri Ramakrishna. It will not bring any, what is called, any value to me. I want a job, I want a house, I want something else and all these things. Guru will not bring to us. So that is the great demand today. They are good people, learned people, and moral people. But some or other, they don't understand the real value of life. As if many times we find that we are just playing with our life, simply playing with our life. So it is a very sad story, and we have to, face that kind of reality of life and tell people, no. Perhaps they may not listen to us, but what can be done? Truth is truth. So, first of all, say some idea about knowledge. How do we get knowledge, our perception, our knowledge and all these things? In the Upanishad, especially the Kathopanishad, there's some idea about our life. What does it say? Uttishtata, Jagrata, Prapyavara, Nibodhata. There is a Prapyavara, Nibodhata. Find out a true teacher. Why? Kurishwadhara, Dishita Durattaya. That this, of course, in context of the spiritual life, that word Kurishwadhara is a difficult path. It is just walking on the edge of a razor. You may be cut into pieces any moment. You do not know. But we have to do it. But most important thing is that Prapyavara Nibodhata. Find out the true teacher. the teacher will help you. Therefore, in spiritual life, to find out a traditional teacher is important. So, first of all, let me read to you a few ideas what we find about the story of life from Kathopanishad. A confused traveler in the desert sees a mirage and runs towards the water in the vain expectation of quenching his thirst. A man in darkness mistakes a rope for a snake and trembles with fear. But when the true nature of the desert and the rope is revealed by a wise person, those who are deluded no longer suffer from false expectation and fear. They regain peace of mind. Likewise, a deluded man who associates divine soul with name, form, and action through ignorance, regard it as the doer, the instrument and the enjoyer of the fruits of action, subject himself to false expectation and false fear, and experiences endless miseries. But when, through the instruction of an illumined preceptor, he attained the knowledge of the divine spirit, he becomes free from ignorance, realizes the illusory nature of multiple objects, and enjoys peace. The path to self-knowledge is extremely difficult. The experience is asked to practice the disciplines of distinction between the right and wrong, following the instruction of a teacher. Then, I go to the subject in a different way. And as you know, we have accepted Swami Vivekananda as our leader. So, while discussing anything about religion, philosophy, or the value of life, what should we do, we cannot avoid Vivekananda's teachings. So, we can learn many things from Vivekananda, even without going through understanding philosophy or metaphysical facts and all these things in life. So, Swami Vivekananda is known as a born meditator. Yeah. He mentioned one time that when a person makes an attempt to practice concentration of the mind, he feels that a lot of thoughts are arising and disappearing in the mind of that time. But if he persists in the practice of concentration of the mind, then his mind will be introspective, and he will discover that his being is nothing but a mental world. Now let us go to study our life as told by illumined soul. By spiritual life we understand our true nature is divine spirit, though most of the time we don't believe it. In spite of wonderful development of material civilization in this age and its dominating power over general mass, the phenomenon of spiritual awakening is witnessed by all the great religions of the world. The belief in eternal nature of the self is the most vital point in spiritual life and practice. The point is, mere material aspects of things are not sufficient to explain life as such. The principle of life that animates in a living body is something different from the dead matter to which it manifests itself. Whatever is taken to be real for the true being, as often happens with the material-minded people, draws out the whole soul of a person. His thoughts, his feelings, as well as his wills to the world of matter as the realities of the first orders. But when the new factor of spiritual consciousness begins to exert its influence upon the seeker's mind, he comes to doubt the ultimate reality of the world of matter and mind, including the body. A transformation of his inner life takes place. He begins to regard the soul and the divine to be more real than the former. Consequently, he begins to react altogether in a new way. His entire life and thought undergo a transformation. A teacher's role in the transformation of a seeker's inner life is very important. A religious teacher always helps the seeker's life to move onward all the time. And this is the most unselfish performance on the part of the teacher out of love for all people. These religious teachers are the carrier of the seeds of spirituality from door to door to help people to get their inner life transformed. The Lord's power works through a particular body and mind, whom we call a spiritual teacher. These teachers always take responsibility for spiritual growth of people. There is a tradition that tells whenever the communities and the countries are in the dire need of a spiritual power to uplift the people, a divine power appears among people. There is a strong belief that in this age, Sri Ramakrishna is born in modern time to perform the divine act of establishing righteousness. His teachings and life stories are available nowadays. Many people are getting benefit in their spiritual outlook on life and accepting the religion to be the goal of life. I have more time? 5 minutes. Okay. One must undergo the necessary discipline to develop spiritual vision. It is the intense practice of meditation on the nature of the divine self or God that leads to the intuitive realization of the divine reality. Sri Chaitanya said, the name of God has very great sanctity. It may not produce an immediate result, but one day it must bear fruit. It is like a seed of a fruit tree lying uncared for. After many days, the seed germinates and bears fruit. One must take a firm attitude. So, the teachers encourage us to have this kind of attitude. What? I have chanted the mother's name. How can I be a wrong doer anymore? I am the child. I am her child. Here to her power and glories If you give a spiritual turn to your tamas, you can realize God with His help. Force your demand on God. He is by no means a stranger to you. He is indeed your own person. Then it is called discussion about our present state of experience of life from the standpoint of Vedanta. Neither sense perception nor any of the other means of knowledge, such as perception, inference, and so on, depend on outer life, can impart knowledge of suprasensible fact. That means such as God, soul, their relation, soul journey after death, heaven and hell, the origin of the universe, merit, demerit, then acquisition of righteousness and unrighteousness, and the highest destiny and its fulfillment. As observed by Shayana, the Vedic commentator, it is the special purpose of the scriptural text to disclose truths that are beyond man's normal experience. How does the man know the truths that are beyond the range of the senses and out of the reach of reason? According to the most religions, the great saints and seers, assimilate those truths in a supra-conscious state above reason. As disclosed by Patanjali, in the state of samadhi, knowledge can be said to be filled with truths. The knowledge that is gained from testimony and inference is about common object. Knowledge gained from samadhi is of a much higher order, being able to penetrate where inference and testimony cannot go. Many Eastern and Western philosophers concur on this point that the human mind can develop a supra-sensuous and supra-rational faculty of intuition, which is far superior to interact and can perceive facts that are otherwise inaccessible. Religious teachers deal with a living energy known as spiritual truth that bring joy, peace, love, hope, and knowledge of superconscious state. According to the needs of a person, a spiritual preceptor advises different paths to practice different spiritual disciplines. So some of the ideas and thoughts that came to my mind to tell you on such occasion I have done. So I pray to the Lord that the Lord on such an occasion should bless all of us. Thanking you.
ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं योऽन्तःप्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयति अखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना Anyamscha hastacharana sravanatvagadin pranan namo bhagavate purushaya tubhyam. We are all very grateful to revered Swami Abharanandaji Maharaj, who had the grace to come here and bless all of us. And for those of you, I hope there are just a few here who may not be familiar with him. He is, for your information, the senior-most monk outside India, living outside India, and the second oldest monk in the United States now. And it is a great blessing for all of us to see him here during these important functions. And I was struck by something very interesting that he mentioned at the very beginning of his talk. It's about this proliferation of these gurus all over the world. In fact, management guru, marketing guru, wrestling guru, of course, and gurus in athletics. So, and I was reminded of reading an article that was published in the Global Vedanta. It's a journal published from Vedanta Center of Seattle. And there was an interesting article some years ago, which was published in that journal, written by an American author. And the title of the article was, "Not So Fast, O Enlightened One." So he was referring to this increasing number of gurus all over the world. So sometimes you find in the YouTube a strong, well-built, muscular man with most of his upper part of the body covered with tattoos. Maybe as a consideration for the viewers, maybe wearing a small, tiny kind of shirt or whatever it is, and giving a talk all about Aristotle in 20 minutes. And again, you find people talking about Vedanta in Wall Street, Vedanta in Manhattan, Vedanta in marketing, Vedanta in advertisement. Now, people sometimes get this confusion. What is all about this guru concept? If you ask me the question, not from India's own ancient tradition, but right from the contemporary world, when we read newspapers today, when we get information about what is happening around the world from social media, even the war that is happening in Gaza. You know why these ancient people, the Jewish society, community, where do they get the strength and the confidence? It is from the Guru concept. The belief that you have a great spiritual inheritance that has existed for 3,000, 4,000 years through this chain of teachers, students, and teachers and students, transmitted from generation to generation of teachers and students, which is preserved, which is sustained, which is protected an ancient culture, an ancient tradition, a small, tiny society, community, which has been persecuted for 2,000 years, get this strong, this unique strength and confidence. We will survive. We have to sustain, we have to preserve our ancient culture. That is an example of Guru concept. Here, I am not taking this example from India's spiritual tradition, which is so rich about the ideas of Guru. It's so rich, which a literature that explain Guru concept. If you go to 4 Vedas, Samhita, Brahmana, Aranyaka, Upanishad, for all the 4 Vedas, the Puranas, there are 36 Puranas, 18 Mahabhuranas, 18 Upapuranas, plus classical Mahabharata, Ramayana. Ramayana, 24,000 verses, Mahabharata, more than 100,000 verses, full of gurus, teachers, guru, Sishya, guru, mean teachers and students. But if you look today at what is happening in the world, wherever you find some ancient civilization, some ancient culture, some ancient values, which have preserved nations and societies, it is because of this Guru concept, which manifests and which exists in so many different forms all over the world. So that's why I chose the subject, the role of Guru in the preservation of human civilization. Coming back to India, you find There are two ideas, two concepts in Indian tradition. One is Guru, the other is Acharya. Acharya is a great teacher, great teachers who come from time to time. That the spiritual epoch makers who bring the best of the ancient heritage, practices in their life, reinterprets and hands over to the next generation. Shankaracharya, Sri Ramakrishna, Vivekananda, all these are great examples, Jesus Christ, Buddha, examples of the great Acharyas. Guru, on the other hand, can be somebody who can give you light in your heart, who can kindle the light of knowledge in your heart. That's why Guru Shabdastu Andhakara Syat, Guru Shabdastu Nirodhakaha Andhakara Nirodhitvad Guruhu iti abhidiyade. So Guru Shabdastu Andhakara Syat. So the word Guru, Gu and Ru. Gu actually signifies the spiritual power that is being which is covered with the spiritual power which doesn't manifest right now because of some darkness. Gu Shabdaha Andhakara means darkness. Because somehow you are not able to do what you want to do. You are not able to direct your energies in a spiritual pursuit. That is darkness. Ru Shabdata Nirodhaka. Ru Shabda means that it liberates you from the darkness, that removes the darkness of ignorance, the darkness of spiritual blindness. So Guru means somebody who removes the darkness from your heart. Acharya is somebody who practices a great spiritual value. Achinodiki shastrani acharya sthavayatyavi. Swayam acharade chapi tasmat acharya uchyate. Acharya is an epoch maker. He actually practices some great spiritual values in his life and teaches others to practice those values. Now, not only in the field of civilization, even in the field of family life, when it comes to family life, this Guru ideal, one way or other, has played a very important role in the preservation of ancient Indian culture. If you go to the Bay Area, for example, you know this Bharatanatyam, all the music, even some of the songs people sing here, the Vedic mantras they sing here, they're all being composed, practiced, and perfected and tuned to the musical form by the great sages in ancient times. And that tradition continues. So you find the architecture, music, literature, civilization, values, family concepts, all are preserved by this concept of spiritual inheritance. Certain values which are preserved and taught by some great teachers and sages, which they teach their students. And again, this transmission continues for thousands of years through this unbroken chain of teacher-student relationship. In ancient times, in the Krishna Yajurveda, there is a convocation address. Maybe the first convocation address that you read about, that you hear about in our literature. It is a set of instructions given to students who have got a degree in Vedic learning and who are about to go back to their homes to start their life, playing different roles in society and family, husbands, wife, brothers, sisters, citizens, and so on. Vedam anuchya acharyaha andevasinam anishasti satyam bada dharmam chara, etc. First set of instructions are related to certain eternal spiritual cultural values. The second type of instructions are directly linked to how we should live our life in our family. So, Madhur Devo Bhava, Pitru Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava, Aditi Devo Bhava. Say, your parents, your teachers, and your guests should be as respectable to you as God Himself. Now, if a family can maintain, if family members can maintain some of these values, you can just imagine what a great change can come over our family life in modern times. 21st century, we are living now, 21st century. But these teachings go back to maybe 4th millennium BC, But those teachings have the same spiritual importance, cultural and civilizational relevance to our own times. Even in ancient India, there were great universities. Let's say the equivalent to the Harvards and Oxfords and big universities of the world. There were bigger universities in India. Some of them are in today's Pakistan. See, Takshashila, Vikramashila and Nalanda were in India. You are hearing about Buddhism in America today. The great monks who came from Japan, Cambodia, Sri Lanka, Burma, China, all these countries, they started Buddhist monasteries after the Second World War. Many of these great Buddhist scriptures were composed, written, and taught by teachers in a university that is founded around 2nd century BC, Nalanda. And that university had tens of thousands of students from China, from what is now Sri Lanka, and also even the Far Eastern countries. Some of the Buddhist scriptures, which today you buy in the markets, they were preserved because the broken manuscripts were found in ancient Chinese. And the great Japanese scholar, Hashima Nakamura, some of his books you can find in our own bookshop. He was a great specialist and scholar in Chinese and Tibetan. He went to China and he had broken pieces of manuscripts which are destroyed, partly destroyed by a Muslim invader, Muhammad Bakhtiyar Khilji, in the 12th century AD. And many of the manuscripts were destroyed. But before that, in the 6th, 7th, and 8th centuries, great Chinese pilgrims and students of Buddhism, Fa Hian, Huyen Sang, they all came to Nalanda, studied, and took with them hundreds of manuscripts. And from those manuscripts, many of the modern Buddhist texts, which were later translated in English by Rhys Davids, an English author, were retrieved. And these universities, some of these universities are now being rebuilt. If you go to Nalanda, you can find the present government has rebuilt the ancient Nalanda University. It was destroyed in the 12th century AD. So what I mean to say, they were all great, marvelous symbols of the greatness of Guru ideal. So these science, even Ayurveda, many of these ancient sciences, they were all studied and taught and preserved by great teachers from generation to generation. Even if you go to Europe today, for example, the cathedrals, the music, and many of the great classical drawings, all these are being preserved by teachers who transmit their wisdom, their knowledge to their students, and this chain of teacher-student relationship continues for thousands of years. Today, what we are facing is a unique problem. That's what I'm coming to, which I'm very happy that Swami Abharanandaji actually referred to that. Internet has created a serious problem. Even for the very concept of Guru. Anyone can be a Guru. It's a big problem. And also the Guru idea can be linked to anything you want. Football Guru, you can find. Now, I have only admiration for football, whatever it is. But the point is, to preserve our civilization and culture, especially in an age where the fake can easily replace the original, the genuine. The raw gold can replace real gold. Very often, the great traditions, intellectual traditions, cultural traditions, civilizational traditions, all can disappear because they become less relevant, because they become less popular. They are viewed by a smaller number of people. So very often, some very superficial, absolutely non-authentic teachings and instructions, not only spiritual topics, but even values and civilizational values, can be propagated by people who can use simple, artificial superficial language and put things in a very, very simple, superficial way. And people will think, oh, Aristotle is so simple, you can learn all about Aristotle in 20 minutes. So why should I go to the library and read a book on Aristotle? Why should I read Plato? I don't have to read Republic. I can go to internet, I can go to social media, I can learn all about Plato in 20 minutes. Over. So that's a real challenge we are facing today. Now you know who is going to suffer? The casualty is human culture and human civilization. Because this spiritual inheritance, this cultural inheritance, this civilizational inheritance, that's a treasure of human society. And we may have wars in every era. We may have cataclysmic upheavals in society and country and communities. It all can happen. But till this internet era, some of the vital, some of the fundamental values were not facing such a huge threat as they are facing today because of internet. So what we need today is somehow to remind society that we should still look for guidance. You should look at these great teachers and their teachings, their great books for guidance for the preservation of spiritual culture. And if you look at the Vedic literature, something very interesting. There is a statement which I quoted just now, Sadasiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Purnima. Giving an example from Vedanta. Literal meaning of this statement, this sloka, this verse is, this Guru Parampara, the Guru tradition, Guru inheritance begins with God himself, Shiva. And it continued its journey towards one great man who came in the 8th century, who interpreted the Vedic literature, Bhagavad Gita and other important works, and built up this unique Vedic philosophy, which was taught to his disciples, and that tradition continues up to our own times. Asmat Acharya Paryanta means, and my own teacher belongs to that link. So in the Guru concept, there is this implication of an unbroken link, a continuity. And if there cannot be any break in the continuity. Look at Sri Ramakrishna, for example. Sri Ramakrishna's monastic order, it is a continuation of a monastic order which was organized and built up by Shankaracharya in 8th century, who himself built up this tradition based on the foundation of some ancient monastic values. So the link goes all the way to prehistoric times. But the link takes me into that ancient world of spiritual ideas, spiritual teachers. So we belong to a distinguished company. We can just imagine, suppose in modern times, all of us can believe, whatever religion you belong to, if you are a Christian, the great tradition beginning with the ancient Jewish tradition, then Jesus Christ was, and again other great spiritual teachers who belong to the tradition. There may be problems, but there were great teachers, great mystics, great spiritual personalities who continued this continuity, this inheritance coming to our own times. If we can just think or imagine, convince ourselves that we belong to some ancient spiritual connection. We are not islands. We are a huge spiritual family. That can give us an idea, give us a sense of inner fulfillment and inner richness, inner achievement. On the other hand, as what is happening in a woke culture, there are many, many strange ideas floating in the air in this 21st century. And there is always an urge for something new, novelty, something not yet practiced, something unknown. So people ask this question, what is your message? Vivekananda says something very interesting. If somebody tells you Well, I'm going to teach you something. Nobody ever knew this before me. It's specially revealed to me. You cannot understand this. Swamiji says, you should reject him. On the other hand, somebody tells you, I learned what I'm teaching you from my great teacher. And he learned from his teacher. This is an ancient, inherited tradition transmitted from generation to generation. You can believe him. If somebody comes and tells you, I am giving you new truth, which nobody else ever knew, you don't accept it. So that's the main challenge of our times, our civilization is facing. This craze for novelty, the craze for something unique. You know, the wine cannot be new. The bottle can be new. Old wine in new bottle. Spirituality cannot be created. It cannot be invented. It cannot be modified. If somebody tells you, I'm giving a modified version of truth, it means watered down. It is not true at all. It is not truth at all. So, in modern times, this Guru concept can play a very, very important role. First of all, if we can believe that any nation, any society, if we can believe that we have a great cultural, spiritual, and civilizational inheritance, that is our common property, that is sacred. So this sense of sanctity and sacredness of inheritance and culture, that will give us a sense of purpose in life, a new sense of meaning in life. In the Vedic literature, there were great teachers like Uddalaga, Varuna, Sanat Kumara, Gautama, and there were great students also. That's true also in other cultures. I was just talking about Aristotle and Plato, Thales, Socrates. These are great examples of Guru tradition in Western context. Guru tradition is not unique to India. The word Guru is a Sanskrit word, but Guru ideal is not unique to India. It is not peculiar to India. It is a common inheritance of great civilizations. You take Greek-Roman civilization, Egyptian civilization. I can give you an example. We are talking about Egyptian civilization. Nobody knows how they built those pyramids in ancient Ramses II, huge pyramid. Nobody knows how they built it. But if you go to India, you find the temples they are building today in the 21st century, they follow the same principles they followed 3,000 years ago. The dance forms, but the Bharatanatyam. Bharatanatyam means not something jumping about on the stage. It is I'm not myself a specialist in that area, but I tell you, it is based on a very wonderful scientific work, on a classical work on art, Bharata Muni's Natya Shastram. And it was taught by generations of teachers and students. It's also music, architecture. That is also true in many of the architectural styles, music styles, family values that you find in many parts of today's Europe. So what I mean to say, Guru concept has got a very important role to play in this modern age, because many of the ancient values, many of the ancient concepts which enrich human civilization may be replaced by some artificial, fake products in modern times. So it's very important for us to remember the sanctity, the sacredness, and also the antiquity of ancient culture. And this Guru ideal in all civilizations play a very, very important role in the preservation, not only in Indian civilization, in Egyptian, in Greek, in Greco-Roman, and all these civilizations you find the concept of a great tradition, a great unbroken inheritance, which considered knowledge as something sacred. Knowledge is something sacred. What you call parampara is something sacred. Tradition is something sacred. We can have new interpretations. In this age of artificial intelligence and information technology, we may need a new interpretation, But the wine cannot be replaced, only bottle can be replaced. That is the greatness and relevance of this Guru tradition. So I was just giving a very brief bird view of this unique concept. Now after this we have some very important announcements. Please remember, after this we will have flower offerings, and our devotees will, our volunteers will distribute flowers to all the members, all the devotees sitting here, one flower to each person. And after that, after they have received flowers, I shall chant one mantra, which you repeat after me, and then our volunteers will place them on this plate, and on behalf of all of you, they will offer it. So please continue. Now I shall repeat one mantra that is offering Pushpanjali mantra. Please repeat after me. Om Aim Esha Pushpanjali Sangaya Saveranaya Sashaktikaya Saparshadaya Sabhaktaya Sasangopangaya Sarvadeva Devi Surupaya Sri Ramakrishnaya Namaha. Now the volunteers will collect flowers from you and be offered them. Now after this I shall read a few announcements, and after announcement we will have Prasad luncheon in Vivekananda Hall. So the first announcement is, after volunteers have collected the flowers, they will guide you to Vivekananda Hall for Prasad luncheon. And one important announcement is that we have Labor Day retreat Saturday to Monday, that is August 31st, September 1st and September 2nd, August 31st, September 1st, September 2nd, that is Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It will be held in Olima retreat, Olima Vedanta retreat. So we will very soon, we will give the link to RSVP in our website. So you can do RSVP in our website, svedanta.org. Or you can just Google Vedanta Society San Francisco. You can go to our website and you can do RSVP. And during this summer recess, we will continue our online class on the foundational text of Indian philosophy, and it will continue online on Sunday 6 p.m. So you can get this online access from our website. So please remember, Labor Day retreat, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, August 31st, September 1st, September 2nd, in Vedanta Retreat, Olima, Marin County. Thank you. Our devotee volunteers will guide you to Vivekananda Hall for lunch prasad.